What's up, people? I'm Richie.
I'm Jim.
Carl.
Jazzy J.
And Ray.
And this is a show where we talk about old movies from us old timers day.
Old Timers Day.
Old timers day.
This is in the 90s. It's not that old.
Yeah. You guys.
This was from like 1952. Maybe you're right.
I'm gonna go outside.
This is for
and yell at
1990.
clouds.
Yeah. So it's over 30 years ago. So
Yeah.
it's not that recent either.
No.
So what movie will we be introducing to the younger lads?
Hold on. Let me pump up.
Pump up the volume.
Pump Up the
Pump
Volume.
up the volume.
Starring Christian Slater. One of Christian Slater's early films.
He was channeling his best Jack Nicholson.
Came out August 22nd of 1990. Nice tight 105 minutes.
That's what I'm talking about. When movies knew when to end.
A lot happened in this movie.
A ton.
To be that short.
I never knew this movie even existed. I never heard of the title. I was like,
Same, dude.
what is this movie?
If that movie was filmed now, there would be like a 45-minute Jeep ride.
You're skipping to the end.
Yeah, I know, but there would be a 45-minute Jeep
Oh
ride
my God.
if the movie was made today. End it. They knew.
Jay was just like, is that a hip hop song?
Yeah, when
Which it was.
when this movie was like pitched, I was like, I had no idea. And then it was on like HBO Max, and I was like,
Same.
holy shit, this is like a real movie. And
Yeah, like probably went to theater, had like a great like trailer, everything. Like
I
a
thought it-
legit movie.
I thought it was gonna be like a '90s power jam like dance battle film without even watching it. Just and I saw Christian Slater on the cover. I'm like, what is this?
I saw it in the theater.
Oh my God, really?
Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
really did.
And you
Oh,
watched it again?
Well, that's
Yeah.
what we're rolling into now. Carl, you can expound on that. And Richie, what was your first experiences with this movie?
Oh, wow. My first experience. Oh, my God.
I addressed Carl first.
Okay.
Oh, I went with a group of friends. We went to the movies in 1990. I was going pretty much every week to the movies with a group of friends. And that came up, and it was filmed in my hometown. So we had to watch it.
Carl was an extra in his hometown.
Yes.
No,
He's
not
been
in this
an
one.
extra
Not in this one.
in many movies, not this one because he was.
It was a neighboring high school, not my high school.
He's best friends with the punk rock Pauly Shore from the movie.
Yeah.
Buddy. That's my Polish.
It was filmed in my church, though.
Oh, that's
It was
cool.
Filmed in your church?
I didn't
At
know
my
you
church.
had a church, Carl.
What scene was filmed at the church?
The funeral scene?
Ah, the funeral
It's-
scene. The kid who kills himself, who offs himself. Boom.
Yeah, and then there's a news.
There's a
footage.
funeral scene?
There's news footage of the funeral.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's-
Oh, Jesus Christ. I was just like, there was no funeral scene. I just watched it.
It's the outside, but that was my church.
Okay.
And yes, I did go to church. No
See,
longer.
I grew up
Why?
in church.
Pump up the volume on my phone. It's one
Oh
of my.
boy.
Is this a guilty pleasure for you?
So, Richie, what's
No,
your,
it's just one of the.
how do you feel about?
Pump up the volume?
Yeah, like what was your first experience watching it, if you remember it?
I do.
And-
I again, much like Carl, I did see it in the theater. I remember it being the first thing, I remember about it was how Jack Nicholson he was trying to be.
Yeah, totally.
Because I was like, he wasn't this Jack Nicholson in whatchamacallit.
True romance.
No,
No, Gleaming the Cube.
in Gleaming the
Oh,
Cube
Gleaming.
or in Legend of Billie Jean. Fair's fair.
Well, he was quite young then.
Right,
in
but
those
that's
two.
what I'm saying. He wasn't. So this one, yeah, he really. I was just
I've
like,
never heard him compared like that. That's kind of
Oh,
funny.
Watch
Oh,
a couple more
totally.
later movies.
Yeah, I
You're
totally
like,
see
dude,
now.
What are you doing?
Oh, yeah,
Well,
for
he
sure.
Trying to be
he
Jack
admits
Nicholson,
that
huh?
Nicholson is influence
Yeah.
on his act.
That's hilarious.
In Heather,
Heathers.
the great Heathers.
I was gonna say, if you watch Heathers, Jesus
that
Christ.
is
Really?
straight up.
I've
an
never
I've never
innocent
seen a lot of
impression.
I thought I saw a lot of Christian Slater movies, but I guess I haven't. 'Cause I've
Yeah.
never seen.
Not
I've always seen him where he's
Heathers?
like a side character, like in Robin Hood Men in Tights, and then
No,
kind of Interview with a Vampire, like
No,
Oh,
man.
more
he's
side guy.
Legends of Billie Jean.
I vaguely
Wait, you
remember
kids
seeing
haven't
that.
seen
Vaguely.
Heathers?
You keep bringing up Legends of Billie Jean, like that's gonna ring a bell in people's.
I know. I remember
Christian Slater.
it's about a girl they go on. She like runs away with him, and they're like it's like a group of kids like
Oh,
in
wait
a
till
car, and
you
they're
see
just
it.
driving.
Wait till you
That's
see
Legend
it.
of Billie Jean.
Yeah,
Yeah, I vaguely remember watching that.
yeah. That's almost the plot.
That is almost the
You'll be another one. You'll be surprised.
I'm just saying, every time that movie comes on, I want to shake my shoulder. I want to Pat Benatar the shit out of it.
I'm like such a movie person, but hearing all these movies that I've never even heard of makes me feel like I've been living under a rock for all these years. Holy shit.
Heathers?
However, you gotta ask yourself, Jay, are you under the rock
was-
or are these movies under the rock?
Heathers was a
Shit, I don't know.
big hit movie. Heathers
Yeah,
was a
Heathers
hit
was
movie.
big. Heathers was big because it had
Yeah.
Winona.
Never heard of it, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, and had
What?
Winona Ryder.
I know.
Winona Ryder.
Here, I want to look it up real quick. I want to look up. Maybe I have, and I just don't recognize the name.
This is the whole point of the show.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
haven't seen.
Yeah, you guys haven't seen
Yeah,
Heathers?
you guys have
No.
literally an endless list of shit that me and Ray haven't seen yet. So this show will go on forever.
Yeah, you'll never run out of stuff. Heathers, what the hell? Is that Winona
It's
Ryder?
legit good. It's really
Yeah,
good.
it's a really good
Heathers
movie.
was
Oh, and Christian Slater. Well, okay then. Shannon
Yeah,
Doherty. Oh
it's-
my.
it has a lot of murder.
Mhm.
Intrigue.
There's been a
Okay.
murder.
Speaking
And-
just like this freaking movie had a lot going on in it.
Disaffected teens.
There was so much that happened in this movie.
Yeah. So
All
yeah,
right. Well,
I remember watching it in the theater, and it's not one of my like all time like 80s 90s like teen movies. Like I was like,
Not
oh,
all time.
but I like it.
It's like a
enough
weird
to-
guilty pleasure nostalgia.
Yeah,
almost.
it's good enough to fall asleep to.
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
It's familiar where you
Yeah.
see. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I saw this in a theater. I'm pretty sure it was on videotape of some kind or early CD.
or laser
All right,
disc.
so I'll give you the IMD synopsis of this movie. Mark runs a pirate radio station and causes an uproar when he speaks his mind and enthralls the teens.
That's it.
That's really not the
Okay.
movie.
Yes, this movie got a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Not bad.
Sounds about right.
Interesting.
Some critics' reactions were fast-paced with a satisfying, unhappy ending.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I highly agree with I did not like the ending
Yeah.
of this movie.
Pump
Paul
Up the
Carr.
Volume still shines in its exploration of depression and trauma.
All right.
Okay.
Call it Rebel with a Cause and listen good because it's the most frank, startling, and radically opinionated movie ever made for young viewers.
Wow.
That's a strong
Ever
statement.
made.
That's a
Okay.
strong statement.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
about that.
This movie was all over the place.
Yeah, it was like 4 different plots going on.
Yeah, I'll give it credit to where they made the movie exciting for it being a movie about somebody who's
Pirate radio.
pirate radioing. I mean, it was pretty fast paced for somebody who was having a pirate radio station in their basement.
And who apparently just moved to Arizona. Like he's a new guy in town.
yeah,
Like, how does that make that? How did they not put 2 and 2 together? Guy just
Because
moves
he
into
wears
town.
glasses in his
He's like,
civilian
yeah.
attire like Superman.
Style. He's just
He's like
dude, he's
Superman.
Clark Kent. He's Clark Kent of
Yeah.
high school.
That's why
Him
they
and his blackjack
can't
gum.
make that connection. Plus, he's
Have you ever
using
had-
a voice modifier.
yeah, and
Dude, and then go ahead.
I was gonna say his alter ego was so crazy, and he was the quiet kid at school.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever know.
Yeah. And then the girl actually figures him out, and he's still like a little like priss around her. He like can't even look her in the eye when she looks like, "Hey, look, dude,
He
I know
doesn't
it's
have
you.
the ability
I like
to
you.
talk to people.
I'm like, I'm that girl who's been like sending these like slutty like letters over the internet or over the radio,
Yeah, she was a.
and he still can't like man
Jesus.
up. It's hilarious. So there's all these crazy tropes in this movie.
yeah,
so
so
two
it's like-
things that
yeah.
drive me crazy every time I watch it is the dialogue is pretty horrific.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the scene when the preppy girl starts freaking out in front of the camera, I laugh
and she
out
destroys
loud.
the kitchen.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
like
I laugh
smashes
out
her
loud.
face.
Like, did
into,
she
like,
put a
the
grenade?
microwave?
Did she put a grenade in
That's what
that
she did.
microwave?
Yeah, she like set a
Because-
bomb inside the microwave, and then like her nose got all busted up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what is going on in this
That would
fucking
not
movie? And then
happen
there's,
with a
like,
microwave.
chase at the end.
I mean,
I just like when she's going into the camera, she's like, I'm like, what are you doing?
I mean,
It was
Know what my
Go ahead,
biggest
go ahead,
problem
Ray.
with this movie is?
what?
It wasn't long enough.
No. His mic.
Coming from you? Shit.
No, his mic technique was terrible. There's no way that sounded good.
all right.
Right.
He's talking from across the room. He's not wearing headphones.
Well, wasn't doing a podcast, Jim.
I just like how they was able to put
You
all
still got
that
to
radio
broadcast
equipment
it.
into a Jeep
Yes.
and drive around.
See? Just
And it still sounded perfectly clear.
It
Yeah, and
sounds
it all
so good.
ran.
He's driving around.
It all ran off the
open-air
battery
Jeep.
too. Just that 12-volt battery.
It's all
right?
just strapped. He like Frankenstein all his radio parts together to make like a mobile antenna thing. To it's
He
like
got-
out with the what is it, FTC or FCC?
would
And
the
then just have
FCC
these
really do that?
nondescript.
Yes, they do. They would
Like
really,
the FBI, where they
yeah.
just like,
They would
Come on.
really
I don't
try
know,
to
man,
shut
but they have
down a
these-
pirate radio station. Yeah,
Yeah, we've
That's
had
crazy.
We've had
Is that these yellow
I've known people
nondescript
with-
vans chasing you around?
we've had the
Oh,
Coast Guard.
Triangulate you.
We've had the Coast Guard shut down pirate radio stations that are out on the water.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't it supposed to be America? It's freedom of speech. How come you don't shut down podcasts? It's the same
Because
thing.
radio, you need a license.
Yeah.
Ah.
Internet.
oh
The internet completely circumvented that. That's why we just don't connect with pirate radio anymore.
Could you
Right.
imagine just like
Podcast net.
the FCC smashing your door? A search warrant. We're the FCC. We were gonna
Wait,
break
are
up a
you on that
fucking
show?
rogue
Damn
podcast.
all movies. Destroy all movies. Are you a damn?
We have a
Mr.
SWAT
Damn.
van full of agents. and
I'm
we're
sorry,
gonna take
did you
down.
say
I'm
FBI?
just a Ghostbuster.
No, the FCC. Get the out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going
Exactly.
to write you a very strongly worded letter, sir, asking you to cease and desist.
We're the FCC.
No, we're going to get yellow vans and chase your ass around and triangulate your position and put the whole
Yeah.
town at risk.
There-
That's what we're
there's
going to do
a-
in this movie.
There was an action like Jim
No,
said,
there was corruption.
we knew like 2 or 3 people in Jersey who just right out, would just go out on the water and they would shut them down. You'd see the boat go out there.
God damn.
Yeah.
That really happened. That's hilarious,
How
No,
much does that cost
seriously,
a
that was-
taxpayer?
right?
It cost
How
us
do I
a
be a
lot.
pirate radio hunter? How cool is that?
Yeah, they
That is pretty cool.
triangulated the
On the Coast Guard, I hunt pirate radio.
Yeah.
I go
But,
put a
but this movie had it all.
EMT.
It had teenage
did.
angst. It had
Yeah.
suicide,
Evil teachers.
and
suicide.
and its consequences. It had nudity. It had corruption.
Yes.
Mhm.
It did
And-
have it all.
Guidance
The
counselors.
villain did get her comeuppance at the end. You gotta have
Yeah,
a comeuppance.
The principal.
Yeah. The
Yep,
ending
she got
though,
justice served.
I did not like the ending because it was
So weird.
It was weird. There was no closure. It was like, oh, cool. He got caught
And arrested.
and literally the movie just ended. I'm like,
Yeah,
went
it's
through
like-
all that.
But he inspired
It
the
didn't-
young. He inspired
exactly.
them.
Yes.
It didn't
That's
just
what it's about.
end.
Mm.
It didn't just
Inspiration.
end. It went on without him.
He started a revolution.
Yeah, he did. He planted
Yeah.
the seed in
Bunch of
those young
teenagers.
minds.
He
Did you
was
guys see it?
about the revolution, but the revolution was not about him.
It's basically what's happening in schools now, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
still
man.
relevant.
Did you see a
that was-
young
it's
Seth?
just a
Did you see a
weird
lo-
movie.
see a young Seth Green as one of the high school kids?
Yeah,
that's
I thought I
true.
saw someone else in that movie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there was someone else too.
Oh yeah,
There was someone else.
yeah. There
I-
was
I
somebody
legitimately
else
thought-
recognizable.
I thought the punk rock guy at the beginning that you think is going to be the bully looks like Pauly Shore, like a punk
Yeah.
rock version of him. Like
Oh, he
love that.
He was just super fan.
he was
man.
like one of his biggest fans, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, who does that?
Mhm.
Who goes? How boring is it in Mesa, Arizona back then that you had to just drive out to a football field and all listen to the same pirate radio? Like, there's nothing else to do.
I guess not, man.
No,
Man,
That's
I
enough-
found stuff to do out
Like,
here. I
again,
grew up out here.
He was speaking. He
plenty
was
to do.
speaking their truth, man.
Yeah.
He's fighting against the system of those corrupt teachers that were like, that was the big thing because the principal was like kicking out
Oh, yeah.
unbewantons, like people that were different or she thought would bring down their SAT scores, and she wanted to get the highest SAT scores to get like a promotion or something, or that was her
Well,
whole
she gets
freaking motive.
she gets
But-
money.
which was
But
interesting.
she
I mean, you
left
could have made
them
that a little bit
on
more
the
interesting.
enrollments. She left them on the enrollments to get the funding.
The higher, yeah, the funding. That's was the other thing too.
It was all
Getting all that
because
money.
of the school.
I'm not even gonna lie. If that shit happened like when I was in high school, I probably would have loved that dumb shit. Somebody in our school has like a
Yeah.
underground radio. I would have been like this is the coolest shit ever
And-
because
That's good.
I would have been a dumb teen. Oh, this is awesome, man.
Right? You would have been out in that football field like,
Fuck yeah, you
"Look,
better
just
believe
watch,
it.
let's go.
Hell yeah.
We
How about
just,
that creep? How
we
about that
just
creepy
wanna
song? Real quick?
learn.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, it's
Everybody
Leonard
knows.
Cohen.
It is
That was
Leonard
weird.
Cohen.
What was his like? He had like a
Hallelujah.
shout out, right?
Talk
What
hard.
was like his word that kept getting repeated, like write this or
Oh
Man,
yeah.
I knew I should have wrote notes down. He says it at the end of the movie when he gets hauled off in the paddy wagon.
Talk hard.
Talk hard.
Talk hard.
Talk hard.
Talk
Talk
hard.
hard.
Yeah.
That's
Talk
what it
hard.
was. Talk hard. Who makes that up? That's hilarious.
You know what's
Talk
crazy
hard.
too? Because he was, I guess, an outcast, except when he was his alter ego on the radio. But his parents were like super supportive. Because even when they
Yeah.
busted him with this girl, they're like, you're a girl down here. Let's.
Parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his parents busted in on him with a girl, and they're like, "Oh shit, like
yeah.
that's awesome. You have a girlfriend, and
Yeah.
let's get out of here so you guys can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
We're so proud of you, kid." They were
We
super
thought you were
supportive.
doing a pirate radio, but you can do that chick.
Yeah,
Those are good parents.
They're like, do both. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know?
You go ahead and
His parents were like awesome. I was like,
Yeah,
I
Like
don't
the
know why
best
he's-
parents.
The dad winds up a hero at the end, you know,
Yeah.
clamping down on the old corrupt principal.
Yeah. He
Like
gets
he's school board president or something.
he,
Yeah,
he
powwow.
was the
The city
superintendent.
superintendent of schools, yes.
and like how it was all over the news. And news guys were there
You're
at the end.
suspended.
Crazy.
You don't have the power. Yes, I do. It's like
You don't have the power.
You have the power. I have a pirate radio.
This-
I will fight.
This
you.
all
I will
leads,
fight you.
it all leads into
none of you know how to protect a country. That's what
All
you
you
say.
did was weaken a school today.
Talk hard.
That's too funny.
That's
It was
awesome.
an interesting movie, and it was like all over the place. I didn't know what to make of it. Like at the beginning, like I'm halfway through the movie, I'm like, what is this really about? And then it starts getting into like more believable stuff, I guess, like a corrupt teacher and he's fighting back, and then it gets so out of control that it's all over the local news and making national news, and like the government has to get involved and chase him
Right.
down in a Jeep. Like it went from like kind of
Well-
boring. And like, I don't know what this is about to like, okay, I'm kind of like into this now because like the FCC, like you show them in your
Well, it's because that
mobile
reporter was
video station.
blowing it out of proportion with
and it
his
was pretty fucking
sensational
exciting. Like, there's
reports.
You know what I
crazy
love about this
jumps
fucking
in the Jeep, like
You know what I
skidding
love
around
about this
corners
show,
and
man?
shit. What was
This show is so cool because we watched it just because that was out. We wanted, like,
You're forced to
like
watch
you
this.
guys,
Take a
you guys
break,
are analyzing this shit. He was like, well, and then it got really good. I was like, I don't know. I took a chick to see this movie. Like,
yeah.
You guys should rewatch it for this, like
We were just supposed
older
to.
eyes, fresh eyes.
well, that's the thing. That's why I love it. It's like, oh, I never even noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a crazy movie, man.
I watched it the other night at like 3 a.m. I was like, I get it.
Well, I'm really trying to
I
like
might even make an
analyze the
hour with a
movies.
chick.
It's so cool.
I gotta take. Like I'm saying, like the next one, I'm gonna take notes because I have like I'm like I watch it and like all right, I'm gonna give my full attention to this movie. Like I'm not gonna be distracted on my phone.
So
I'm
3
gonna
o'clock
watch
high.
it. Like I'm
seriously,
in the
3
movie.
o'clock high. You definitely need to because there are a
Yeah.
lot of little.
I do it
little things in
undistracted.
there that is way cool. The cinematography is great. In that,
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited for the next one. But this movie was just
Obviously,
so
Richie
weird.
hasn't seen it in a while. I have. But, but
3 o'clock. I have it.
I know. I watched it
No, pump
recently.
up the volume.
You didn't like the cinematography in it? All the cool shots.
They're great shots. So
Now, granted, it's not the cinematography of today, but for
No, it's
what
not.
they were doing, it was way cool.
It's not Roger Deakins.
yeah.
No,
by any
So
means.
let's go to what your reaction is. Like, how would you rate this movie? Like, how would you watch it again? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? You think it was a piece of shit? Did you love it to death? As Richie seems to.
I don't love it to death. I just,
It's on
know,
your
it's just
phone, dude.
yeah, well,
Whom,
my phone was-
whom are
dude,
you
I have
asking?
40 movies on my phone right now.
I'm asking the fresh viewers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't love this movie, but I didn't hate it. I'm kind of like in the middle. There was just so much going on. There were some parts that made me laugh, some parts where I was just like Richie said, some of the dialogue was horrendous. There were some parts that were very unbelievable, but I did think the overall concept of the movie was cool. Like, high school kid runs a pirate radio, starts a revolution with his high school. I mean, I understand like there's movies it definitely fit with the times. I'll say that. So I would watch it again, absolutely, because I feel like if I were to watch it again, I'd pick up on the movie a little bit more and kind of notice some things that I didn't notice the first time. But yeah, I'm just kind of like neutral about it. Like I'm actually glad I watched it because I never heard of this movie. When I first heard of the title, I thought it was a completely different movie altogether. So it caught me way off guard. Yeah, it caught me way
I thought
off
it was gonna be
guard.
like a dancing hip hop movie.
Yeah, and I like Christian Slater movies, and I'm realizing that there's not a lot of them that I've seen. So yeah, I must say it was a decent
there's not a
movie.
lot of them.
Yeah, but I mean, apparently I've seen a decent amount, but apparently not that many.
Well, there's that one he did with John Travolta.
Yeah, Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
Broken Arrow.
All right.
Yeah.
Thumbs up for Ray.
That's
Jay.
Yep, thumbs up.
So what do you give
Thumbs
it?
up.
Are we doing out of 10 or?
No,
No, just
like-
whether you
Did you like it? Would you rewatch it? I have a question before
Yeah.
before we go to Ray. Did your wife walk in and say, "What the?" Because that's my favorite. It's like, what the are you watching?
No.
Is that
No.
Christian Slater?
Is that fucking Christian
With his
Slater?
shirt
What are
off,
you
all
watching?
sexual on a radio? What are you
It's
watching?
funny because I was watching this movie in like pieces, and so if I'm like at the gym or something, if I'm on the treadmill, I'll pop it on. So I actually watch the movie kind of like in pieces. So no.
Okay.
Normally if I watch a movie like this, I wait till like my wife's sleeping or if I'm by myself, so she doesn't.
He's got to be vigilant with the baby.
Yeah, she understands
With
though.
the
I mean,
yeah.
just some movies that I like, she's just like, what is this?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Same thing.
All right, Ray, give it a go.
So okay, I feel you on the nostalgia, and it's something you could rewatch. There was a movie that used to always be on when I was younger. It's called PCU.
PCU.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Sanskrit, really? Sanskrit? You're studying a 10,000-year-old dead
10,000
language?
year dead language.
Latin, best I got.
So
What-
the more I
what
watched
about
that,
you?
the more I loved it. But that I wasn't in college. I was a little kid, and I was like, I just don't
Right.
really connect with this. I feel like this would have been one of those movies where I'm younger and I don't really connect with the older crowd. I still kind of feel like that. Like I don't really connect with this movie
Right?
in that way. But I would rewatch it just because I could. If it was on TV right now and there's like nothing to watch, I'd rewatch it. But I'm not gonna seek it out to rewatch it again on my own time. Like, yeah, if it happens to be on, I'll definitely check it out. And be like, oh yeah, I remember this wild ass movie. Like it feels so like gray and mellow. It tries to be something, and then you don't know what it's trying to be. And then it just feels like it's just hard to connect with. And then it just turns into like this action flick at the end and like anarchy to the system. And it just started off with him like being gross and dirty and doing fart jokes on the radio. Like it was so weird. It just changed
Oh yeah.
drastically by the end of this freaking movie. So, I mean, for that, I liked because it just, I didn't know what to make of it. And it kept changing. But then, yeah, I'd watch it again, I guess. It's on.
If it's on, you'll watch. There you go.
If it just comes on.
I have
That
one thing to
was,
say to you, Ray. Gutter, don't be that guy.
Be that guy.
Little PC.
Okay, too
Well, yeah.
too
Gutter, don't be that
lukewarm.
guy.
This is
two
my friend,
lukewarm
George
reviews
Clinton.
of the old Pump Up the Volume. Now, for us older folks,
The rewatches.
the
rewatches.
rewatchability.
I'll go first because it's quick. I'll rewatch it. I have it on my phone.
You already answered that.
There you go. I don't. It's not one of my like, yeah, but like every once in a while, I'm like, yeah, I'll throw in Pump Up the Volume. Why not?
That should be
Let's
like
be
its
right
own
this-
Oscar list instead of being like Oscar nominated. If you're just happen to be on Richie's phone, you're a great movie. There should be like a ranking system for Richie movie phones, phone movies, or whatever you want to call them.
So there you
Phone
go. Pump Up the Volume.
You better like the founder then.
Oh, I just watched that the other day too.
And Mystery Alaska.
I watched that as well.
I love Mystery Alaska.
That's a dope movie.
All right,
Mystery-
Carl.
Play my black ice.
I mean, I know I suggested this, and
You did.
I did.
You did
Carl,
suggest it.
could you do the review in a mustache voice? But like, yeah, see,
On the rewatch, it's junk. Like there's so much. These white assholes going to what? There's no bad guys. Why are they so angry?
Yeah, that's a good point.
What do
It's
you mean
just
there's no
the,
bad
it's
guy?
just the
The
principal. She's the
principal.
only bad guy. I really thought the punk rockers gave you that guy.
no, the
But,
we don't
but,
know
but
the
what
gym-
Carl's saying is there's no student bad guys. There's like no,
The FCC is the bad
Right.
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's
the,
nobody.
the
Everybody's always the
principal
bad guy,
and the
boys.
school system was the bad guy, Carl.
The system.
Yeah.
And the
Look,
The
I
90s
grew-
were about revolution.
and the
they came around.
unaware adults and parents.
It's not
I
connecting
know
with
it
your
was
kids.
set. I know it was supposed to be Arizona, but it actually was filmed right where I grew up, which was super white and super entitled,
Okay,
including myself.
I was gonna say, so you should love this movie.
I used to. Now I'm like, these
That's what
kids-
everyone says about Carl is he's super white and super
He's
entitled.
white, super entitled.
I used to be, and now I'm like,
It's like a therapy
these
session
kids-
he has to watch.
these kids suck. What are you so angry about?
Would
know.
you have been an extra in this movie if had the
Oh.
opportunity?
Of course he would.
I almost was. I was right there at my church when it was filming.
Oh boy.
Wow.
All
And then the
right.
high school.
Let me ask you this, Carl. Did you like it when you first watched it? Like what
Yeah,
were
I did.
So what changed?
But I was 16, 17 years old, and I was also angsty. Now screw these kids. I don't
Yeah.
I don't care.
Now you are talking hard. That's the problem.
Yeah.
We're all
Yeah, we're all
We're-
hard talking.
we were all so stupid in high school and as teenagers. Like, so when you're younger, of course you liked it. You're like, oh yeah, this is awesome, you know. But yeah, I was a dumb teen. You know, that's just the way it was.
Yeah.
Of course.
I got news for you. It's very white where I grew up. There was two black guys, and they were brothers.
Family brothers or brothers?
No, like family brothers.
Okay.
Wasn't that
All
wasn't that
right.
the term in the 70s?
Well,
Yeah.
I remember
So
kind of.
no,
Oh,
No,
weird
I'm out.
background that time. I remember kind of liking this when it first came out, but I haven't. Unlike Richie, I haven't watched it many times since I first saw it. And much like Carl, after watching it again, I was not that enamored with it. I have no animosity toward teenagers the way Carl does, but
we also grew up in a white neighborhood.
yeah.
Go figure.
But I did find it, besides his mic technique being off-putting, his equipment. I don't think he needed all that equipment to do what he was doing.
I
But
love it when he goes to the technical aspect.
I give him props for cobbling it all together and getting that, getting the phone to work over, back
yeah.
then over your soundboard and shit. That took a little work back in the day.
Yeah. Well, he did, he was close to a Radio Shack.
Plus,
So-
he knew enough to get a
That is
post
true.
office box. I mean, this kid, he could work for the.
He did wear glasses.
Yeah,
like for the
yeah.
FBI or something.
He had a decoy signal because when their FCC was trying to bust them, they were at the neighbor's house.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put that box in.
Yeah, he
the,
had the phone pumping through all of their.
His neighbor's house. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm just surprised those
Yeah.
parents didn't put together like this gigantic radio station in the basement. I know he tried to hide it when they come
Right.
in,
Yeah.
but there's no way he snuck in all that equipment without ever them.
There's no way they
figuring
don't
it out.
hear.
Yeah,
There's no way they
him
didn't
yelling
hear
down there.
him
He's like
yelling
yelling,
down
making all
there,
these section,
playing
he's
loud
masturbating.
music.
Yeah. He's like
he
screaming.
starts off the movie with him masturbating. He's like, like that was the weird
Harry-
thing.
Harry
Harry-
Hard-On.
Happy Harry Hardon was his name.
Right. Because of the school.
This movie.
Because of the school. HHH.
Oh yeah, that's right. They do show you like kind of off to the side with like the principal standing up front. And you see HHH, and you're like, it's like Happy Harry Hardon. It's a weird movie, man. Can't say it enough.
This movie did not make a whole lot of money. It only made
Whoa.
$11.5 million back in 1990.
I gave it my $5.
Even for $1990, that's pretty low.
Yeah.
Yeah, my people.
Well, I can easily say that I probably saw this on a Wednesday night because in the 90s there was a movie theater in where we grew up that used to do they used to promote date night. So
Right.
Really?
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
you would get matinee prices at night, and you get a large popcorn for the price of a small, only on Wednesday nights. So I
So there's
I always saw a bunch of movies on Wednesday nights.
It's probably
So
their
movie
worst
theaters
day, and they're trying to
Yeah.
generate
Yeah.
tickets.
It was
I wasn't thrilled with it. It even at 105 minutes, it seemed a little long to me. After a while,
It's
I'm
pretty
going,
brisk.
yeah, this isn't speaking to me the way it might have been.
Because it's like 4 plots in one.
Yeah.
It's a long. It feels like a long movie.
It would have been
It's
cool.
not a long movie. It feels like it's like 3 hours.
It would have been cool if they
It has
did
like terrible pacing.
a post-credit scene where they just showed him flipping on the board.
Mm.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been freaking awesome.
And the ending was. You were right, Jay. It was just so like unfulfilling and like no closure. It's like okay.
There was no
This whole
closure.
movie built up to this crazy chase at the end of this movie and him fighting the system, and then that was it.
Mhm.
Well,
Weird pacing.
yeah.
It's a shit movie. I'll never watch it again.
Me and Jay are trying to be like kind of tact.
Yeah.
Did everybody go around, Richie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we all
Okay.
lost it, and Richie still likes it. Carl and I do not.
No.
So I think that'll probably be one of the last times I watch. Now we got some movies coming your way that are gonna blow your minds.
That's right.
I'm excited. Okay, I'm excited for some like really epic movies that Jay and I probably haven't seen.
So
Mhm.
let's
That was just a weird movie.
let's ask
to
our
review.
audience to suggest some movies from the 90s and earlier.
Yeah, something different.
We're gonna throw some at you just to see if you've seen them before.
Okay.
But we'll talk about Logan's Run. Richie suggested this to me. Did you ever see it?
No.
Can't say I
Nope.
have.
No, Logan's
I've heard of
Run.
it, but I've never. I know they're making a new one,
Yeah.
but I've
Yeah,
never seen
I
the
don't think
original.
I ever saw it.
The
If I did, it would only been in, like-
original Rollerball. I think we established that both
I've never
of
seen
you
the
have
original.
not seen it.
I've seen parts of the original, never like from beginning to end. So I would have to say no, to be honest.
Go get him, Tuffy.
How about Excalibur?
Ooh,
I've seen Excalibur.
Possibly.
yeah,
This has been like this is the same story.
I mean, you want epic.
King Arthur.
yeah, but it was Michael Moorcock's. Not Michael Moorcock. John Borman
Yeah.
made that
Shyamalan.
movie. It's an epic.
What about some like
It's an epic.
what about like epic movie hits that did really, really well? That that we should know that maybe we haven't seen?
You said Logan's Run
Road
and Rollerball.
Warrior?
What the hell?
Logan's Run's a good one. Yeah. Or the Road Warrior I have seen.
The
figure it
original
out.
Batman 66 movie.
We
No.
talked about
That
this,
didn't
no.
make a ton of money.
What?
That didn't make a ton of money.
Who said?
We're trying to think of like,
I'm throwing out movies, Carl.
All right, I haven't
don't-
seen
I don't-
Blazing
I don't
Saddles
he-
all the way through. I know that's like a big movie somebody should see. So that's a movie I haven't seen all the way through.
Oh,
Just bits and
Yeah.
pieces.
It's
I-
Blazing Saddles is a little problematic.
Yeah.
oh, very, very.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
problematic.
That I did forget.
I
about.
just
didn't know
watched
about
that
part.
too.
So instead of that, what about
Logan's
Young
Run's good.
Frankenstein?
Young Frankenstein, in
I've
my
seen Young
opinion, is the
Frankenstein,
too.
greatest comedy movie ever made.
Yeah,
But
That's a good one though.
It's
That's a good
awesome.
one.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang I haven't seen all the way through, just like one or two pieces of it.
How old do you think we are?
What?
God damn.
Hold on.
I'm thinking of stuff my mom made. Yeah, she watched when I was growing up.
Carl, you don't remember
Should make
Chitty
me
Chitty
watch.
Bang Bang? Chitty Bang Bang,
I
Chitty Chitty
know
Bang
of
Bang,
it.
Chitty Bang Bang, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Oh, dear.
Oh,
Chitty
you
Chitty Bang
pretty
Bang,
chitty
Chitty
bang
Chitty
bang,
Bang
chitty
Bang.
chitty bang
we
bang.
love
How about
you.
Smokey and the Bandit? I haven't seen
And
Smokey and the
Chitty
Bandit.
Chitty
Smokey
Bang
and the
Bang,
Bandit
Chitty
is-
Chitty
yeah.
Bang Bang.
That's more your area that you're thinking.
I know
Oh,
of
that-
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
You know of Chitty. You
I
weren't
used
a
to
kid?
watch it. They used to play it all the time on syndicated television. I used to watch it all the time.
I did not watch it. Smokey and the
God.
Bandit's pretty cool.
Well, maybe we should watch one of its sequels. Smokey and the Bandit 3. Smokey is the Bandit.
You know what I've never seen, but I've always wanted to watch it. I know it's probably horrendous, but I've never seen Suburban Commando with Hulk Hogan.
Oh, I have that
And you
movie. I
never
actually
will.
just bought it.
What's
I just got it on
Commando?
you can get it through Xbox.
Okay.
Suburban Commando.
Dude,
is
if
a
you want, just come
terrible,
over and watch it.
terrible
You don't have to
movie.
pay for it. I haven't seen
I don't
I haven't
know
seen that
that.
movie since I was a kid, but I'd
Yeah.
rewatch it again.
Yeah, so
Alright.
Carl, I didn't hear
No.
you throwing out any other ones except Young Frankenstein.
Oh,
I stumped Carl.
no, I did. I said
Said what?
Road Warrior.
Oh, Road Warrior. Yes, They've said
Yeah, that was
Road
the first
Warrior.
one.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, I assume you guys have seen 2001.
Yeah.
hmm
I did a whole book report on that in college.
Have you
Like
seen
video report.
2010?
Yeah, that's the one where they go to Jupiter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read the book.
Roy
before seeing it.
Schneider.
Yeah, Roy
Speaking of
Schneider,
Roy Schneider,
Sequest.
how about Blue Thunder?
No.
I've seen-
Oh,
Wait,
there you
who's
go.
who's in Blue Thunder? Sounds
Roy
familiar.
There you go, Jim.
No, I
Hell
haven't seen
yeah.
Roy Scheider, Malcolm McDowell.
that.
What's the guy from
That was my
Home
jam
Alone?
back in the day.
Home Alone?
Oh,
Daniel Stern.
Daniel. Yeah.
Oh,
He
plays
was.
Jaffa.
That was my jam.
I loved Blue
I
Thunder.
haven't seen that.
Oh, hell yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah,
That's
I
where,
re-
follow my
that's where you
leader.
learned. That's where you learned a new term, Jaffo.
I have fond memories of that movie, but I haven't seen it in a long ass time.
Yep.
I remember when I heard the first time Shart, Along Came Polly.
So yeah, Blue Thunder.
Philip Seymour
Blue-
Hoffman.
I'd watch Blue
Shark.
Thunder again. I love
Hell
that
yeah.
movie. I must have saw that several times in the theater.
Hell yeah. I'd love to see it again.
All right. Well, should we end the show? And
Yes,
then-
we should.
All right.
All right. Well, next time we're doing. What are we doing?
3:00.
3:00
3
high.
o'clock high.
An oldie
Awesome.
and hopefully a goodie.
That's it. I'm Richie.
I'm Jim.
Carl.
Jay.
And I'm Ray. And don't forget to talk hard.